The year 1950 was a significant year, a big year for coin collectors the world over. That was the year the US government decided that the top coins, the proof coins they make every year, will be made available to the public. You and I can just walk up. We don't have to be a Rockefeller or a Vanderbilt to say, hey, can you send me one of those pretty coins? With that said, from 1950 to the present, it's been the #1 selling set by the US Mint as well. We love our quality, and these are all that. Every once in a while, we get to go back to the early years. They're called the boxed proof sets. And tonight, I got 2 of them, and they're not going to last long. We call them boxed proof sets because this is exactly how they sent them out to the consumer at this time in history. From 1950 through 1955, we had boxed proof sets. Inside of the box was tissue paper, and inside the tissue paper was hard cellophane from 50 to 53. And you can tell here by looking at it, this is hard cellophane with a staple in it. And then in 1954, we changed the actual cellophane to make it more pliable so the coins just presented a little bit better. It didn't get brittle. And if you didn't store these properly, those early issues are difficult. Now, there was a deal that was brought to me of about 15 sets each about 10 days ago. And we've been bantering back and forth because half of them didn't have the right inside packaging. They were repackaged over the years. Not original. They are boxed, but they're not original. Key word here. And then the 54s, many of them just didn't look nice. So you can see how the poly is slightly more pliable, a little easier to work with. I guess the government's improving their techniques and thoughts as well. We looked at all these coins. Let's go here first. All right. In 55, this is where they improved themselves to. They call them the poly packs. In 68, we went to the hard plastic. So we've improved the quality of our proof sets over time. The early ones, well, that's the problem. And you've seen these probably as well. All the earlier ones are repackaged into these. By the way, repackaged sets from 1953 and 1954. The 2 we're talking about here, repackaged sets. All right, $565, $200 more, and $325, $125 more than we are with the original packaging as you see it. Now, of these 15-odd sets we looked at, we kicked out a bunch because the boxes were off. They weren't all original. And then it comes down to the coins. How are they stored? What do the coins look like? Because the cents just spot, and a lot of the silver coins just turn ugly because of how the plastic and the oxidation in the air with the humidity that's in the world, right? If they're not stored properly, just changes them and makes them funky. We kicked out over half of them because we had to. Somebody's going to repackage them and make them available somewhere else, not here. The one consistent coin, no matter what the packaging is, that nickel. Turns a little bit bluish and just stays there. It's gorgeous. But tonight it's about original box sets. Now, the U.S. government, as we get into the 70s and 80s, we're making 2.5 to 3 million proof sets a year. Think about that. That's how many collectors love buying the best U.S. coins, period. If you go back to 53 and 54, very early in, we're allowed to own these now, we're allowed to buy these now. 128,800 and 233,300. Yeah, that's how few of these are known altogether. And again, most of them are repackaged like that. So here's a mental tease. It bothers me, myself personally, but you just got to live with it, right? And that is the fact that for silver proof sets, and these are silver proof sets. The dime, quarter, and half dollar are silver in these sets. So in silver proof sets, which the government brought back in 1992, so now we still make them every year. We have a clad set and a silver set. When the U.S. Mint dropped below 500,000 silver proof sets for the first time. 2012. The market went crazy. Let me repeat that. A decade ago, we dropped how many sets we sold that year to give or take 500,000. It ended up netting down to 396,000 to be specific. Do you know what that proof set, the one that was made a decade ago, sells for in the marketplace right now? Between $250 and $275. If you add both of these together, we don't get 396,000 sets. And they're a half a century older. Actually, closer to 3/4 of a century older. In the original format, this gorgeous boxed format. And again, it's a proof sets. Proof is a method of manufacture, by the way, how they strike a coin. A regular uncirculated coin is slapped once, pushed into circulation. If it isn't pushed into circulation, it's called uncirculated, right? Hit it and go. Proofs are the collector coins. They are called the collector coins, the premium coins. They take the dies, the front and the back, and they polish them, period. Then they take the planchette, the piece of metal, polish it. A regular coin struck once, a proof is struck twice under enormous pressure. So when you look at these, like that cent, you can actually see yourself in the mirrored background. Many people call them mirrored proofs, because at this time in history, we didn't have any contrast. It was all just proof. We didn't start the contrast until the 1980s, 30 years later. So we make them special, we package them special, we improve the packaging over time to make them even more protected. These earlier years, though, are not. So finding them like we're seeing right now is a whole different game, a whole different process, and it's a whole lot of fun. So again, not 565, not 325. Tonight, we have a handful left. Boom. Guys, we got no time for a clock. avccoins.com. If you have this in your shopping cart, these are going to be gone quick. Push it through, lock it down. If you get an order number, it means your order is secure. Everybody, one last big look. This is the best stuff. Proof sets at their origin story. Boxed. And the prices? Oh my.